The Magnet Marshal 2 is a simple yet very effective and useful tool for the technical inspection of 1/32 and 1/24 scale slot cars to ensure that they are meeting your specified parameters for your race class. The Magnet Marshal 2 differs from the Magnet Marshal 1 in that the Magnet Marshal 2 is in a brown injection molded plastic casing versus the gray that the original Magnet Marshal came in. It has a backlit screen when you first turn it on. I don't think the Magnet Marshal 1 had the backlit screen. The other major difference is that it's easy to not only replace the battery in the Magnet Marshal 2 because there's a dedicated battery door, but also you can use these two screws to adjust the height of the magnetic bar, or rather the bar that your magnets are attracted to. By adjusting that height, you can make your Magnet Marshal match one that maybe your club has that is normally used for tech inspection. You want your Magnet Marshal to match the readings that one gets, and so you can adjust yours to as closely match the club Marshal as possible. Now, it's simple to use, but again, very effective. There are multiple ways of using it. It's both a scale and a magnet downforce scale. Usually what our club does is we get the weight of the vehicle by putting it on its side on the scale. So that's 95 grams. We weigh it like this to verify that the car meets minimum or is within maximum specified weight for the class. And then to check just the magnetic downforce, we tare the meter by pushing the tare button. And now the weight is removed from the magnetic downforce. Now this car does not have a traction magnet. However, this motor does have magnetic effect. So when I put it on the Magnet Marshal, it should read number of grams. So 15 grams of magnetic effect from this motor. And what I usually do is move the car back and forth, because by moving the car, you're rotating the magnet in the motor, and certain positions will have more or less magnetic downforce. So you want to make sure you read a variety of positions to make sure that you're reading an accurate maximum. So I put it down, you put the guide into the slot. So 15 in that position, 15, 16. So 16 is probably about the maximum. So this car would be well within a spec that had a maximum magnetic downforce limit of 20 grams, for example. Just to show another version, this is a standard Scalextric car, the new kit car, the Knight Rider kit car. So we'll do a weight on that again. First a tare just to get the weight, so it's back to 0. And then I weigh the car, 87 grams. Then I tare the weight. And then I put the car, now this one does have a traction magnet there under the rear axle, so this should pull quite a few grams of magnetic downforce. Yeah, almost 150 grams just from the magnet. Now there's a variety of things that affect magnetic downforce. Obviously the size and shape of the magnet, but also the distance between the magnet and the track, which can change while you race the car because the tires wear down. So usually a club will take these readings multiple times throughout a series to ensure that you're not exceeding the limit just because your tires wore down. You can also do 1/24 cars. There's a Carrera digital car. This also has a traction magnet, and I believe it still has a traction magnet in the middle as well. I've not done any tuning or adjustments to this car. So again, we'll tare back to 0, and then we'll put the car on its side to get the weight by itself. 243 grams, so I'm going to tare that out. And then put the guide in the slot and let it hit. Make sure it's on center. And this is pulling almost 370 grams. Well, it's over 370 grams. Almost 300, sorry. No, that's not right. Wow, okay, let's start that one over. Okay, zero it out. Get the weight. 243. Zero that out. That should be, yeah, negative 243. So we put it on the scale. Wow. That does pull a lot. That must have 2 magnets in it. And it changes quite a bit as well, based on where the magnets are relative to the rail. So if I push it too far back, then this magnet isn't pulling on the rail. So I need to have it pulled forward so that both magnets are over the rail. It's definitely important to note that. And if for some reason you can't get it in the right position, you can maybe take the guide out. For a Carrera Digital, you just pop the guide blade out, and then it can sit wherever you want it to sit. For other cars, you might need to remove the guide. But I race primarily 132, so that doesn't really come into play very often. Anyways, there you have it. Great little tool to keep in your personal shop of tools, or one for the club at the very least, so to make sure that all the magnetic racing, or even quote-unquote non-mag racing, because the motors can have their own downforce, is, everybody's playing by the same rules. You can buy this at 132slotcar.us, 132slotcar.us for $150, and I'm sure you can buy it elsewhere as well, internationally. But this is imported into the States by Scale Racing and sold at 132slotcar.us. If you have any questions, please feel free to post a comment down below, or send me an email to ggob@ggob.com, or contact 132slotcar.us and they'll be happy to help. Thanks a lot.